Good morning. We got a good episode today. Um, I don't know the day's date, but I know it's a Wednesday. And this is what we got going. We jumping right into it. Tyreek Hill. Man, big shout out to Tyreek Hill, man. And a lot of people feeling bad for Tyreek Hill, but I don't feel bad for him. I think Tyreek Hill got to have a amazing story thus far, which is he got a Super Bowl ring early. He got his name on the map. Was rewarded a mega contract of his life playing for his hometown team. No, a lot of players don't never get to make it back to their hometown team, let alone when they do, they usually do it at a discount. He got to demand the top dollar from his hometown team. And at the last part of his contract, he got to void out the non-guarantee, and now he basically get to renegotiate. So he's a Super Bowl champion. He's made his money, multi-millionaire, and then some. And then on top of that, he has a chance for either one more big contract or the chance to return to the team that brought him his prominence, or whatever he chooses to do to add on to his legacy. So big shout out to Tyreek Hill. I think he did a great job with the Miami youth. When I think about him in South Florida, I think about him in the projects playing football with the kids. That's to me so iconic. It's like if it was a New York Knick going to Rutgers Park or local park in the hood and playing on the hard talk. So I'm cool with that. I like that right there. Um, Jesse Jackson. Let's get into it. Now I'm glad I had time to ponder this one right here because you know Jesse. All right, I'm gonna first tell my story real quick, then let's get into it. First of all, rest in peace, R.I.P. Jesse Jackson. I went through a situation in my life where I reached out to the Rainbow Coalition, and they took a big shit on me. They shitted on me. Let's just be honest about it. They shitted on me. They didn't respond to me. I needed their help. They did not help me. They didn't return my calls. I did multiple calls. My mother did as well, and they shitted on me. And that left a bad taste in my mouth about what the Rainbow Coalition was, because it was like, bruh, I thought you was a black organization, and I'm a black man who need help from y'all, and they didn't help me. But with that said, so I thought when I think about Jesse Jackson, I famously think about Cedric the Entertainer in the movie Barbershop. He was like, "Fuck Jesse Jackson," and and he meant a lot. Like he really did. He set the pathway for Obama. I learned that really after his death, that he, by running in the 80s, and he preached hope. He did the exact speech that Obama did. Obama took the blueprint and he was mixed, and he's of the party. Like Obama was not an outsider. You got to understand that Obama dad, people look at him as African, but his dad went to like Colombia or something like that. Like his dad was prominent. So they wasn't gonna let an outsider, especially full black man, be the president of the United States. No damn way. They'll let a white woman be the president before that. So shout out to Jesse Jackson on that behalf. But it got me to thinking, who you got? I thought about black society as a whole. Who would we choose? Would we choose, if it had to be Chris Brown or Jesse Jackson, who would we choose? We're gonna choose Chris Brown. You think about what Jesse Jackson achieved in his life, and think about what Chris Brown means to your entertainment life. We're gonna choose Chris Brown. Jesse Jackson or Michael Jackson, who you got? Bitch, we taking Mike. This is how the world works and operates in America. Then I say, Jesse Jackson or the Breakfast Club, who do you got? I'm talking about the old Breakfast Club they used to show on YouTube. You remember the YouTube Breakfast Club before they got on Hollywood, when Netflix on us? Who you got? Jesse Jackson or the Breakfast Club? That's a tough one. I haven't made up my mind. Then I had a real tough one. Jesse Jackson or Robert Duvall? Who you got? And I was like, damn, dog. My blackness won't allow me to pick Robert Duvall. But goddamn, bro, the man played. I'm gonna run off this quick list of my favorite Robert Duvall movies. R.I.P. The Judge, Falling Down, which is so fucking underrated. Gone to 60 Seconds. I seen that when I was staying in the shelter. Shout out Lipman Youth Shelter. Um Colors, nigga. Come on, bro. All time classic. John Q, Deep Impact, Sling Blade, which is just underrated. So I said to myself, my blackness, I'm gonna have to choose Jesse Jackson over Robert Duvall. And lastly, will I choose Jesse Jackson over that song "She's from Texas"? I Could Tell, which is like my favorite damn song of the last 5 years. And I'm like, damn, dog, that's a tough one. I might have the black community mad if I give my opinion on that song of Jesse's. But R.I.P. Jesse. Um, I know I was saying to myself, lastly, closing out the Jesse part, him and Martin Luther King up there fighting like a mug. Michael Martin, like, I mean, I'm about to call him Michael Luther King, but Martin, like, bitch, you done fucked all my hoes, Jesse. Bitch, you know Martin had no hoes and then Martin died. And Jesse, the little young nigga coming up with the big chain, bitch, running for president. Them niggas up there fighting right now, drinking and having a good time. Bless them boys. Next is Paris Hilton turned 45, y'all. Happy birthday, Paris. Happy birthday. When I think about Paris, my biggest memory of Paris Hilton is she gave us the worst celebrity sex tape of all time. Like, for such a, and but this is when she had, it was at her height with Lionel Richie daughter Nicole Richie, and they had the Sweet Life or the whatever. And I said, oh, I had, like, my sister, she was always up on crazy shit, so she had like a mixtape of celebrity sex shit. And Eve is a close second as the worst, because Eve junk was just like a nigga eating her out the whole time. But Paris just gave low effort, low energy. And I was like, what's the point of being that pretty? And you just, anyway. Happy birthday, Paris. Let's see. Jelly Roll wife say him losing weight make his penis look bigger. That's an insult, bro. That's an insult. That mean, cause clearly this lady never heard of Ron Jeremy. She's never heard of the old dude Ron Jeremy. This dude was a fat slob white guy who had a log. This man whip out the goddamn log. And so it's like, lady, fat ain't got nothing to do with it. Either you working with something or you're not. So, shout out to her for trying to build his confidence. But if I was him, I'd tell her pipe down. Because you making me look crazy out here. That means you better not get back fat, or she saying you ain't working with nothing, fam. And I remember she said it looks bigger. She didn't say it is bigger. She said the appearance is bigger. Which is, you know, whatever. Tyra Banks gets this by the first season winner of America's Top Model. I want to say this. My favorite American Top, and I love women that do modeling. I just like the whole allure of them, the way they walk. It's like an art form, you feel me? I don't look at it like in a sexualized manner, like a strip club or nothing like that. It's just a woman, you know what I'm saying? They put a lot of energy and effort into changing their clothes fast, their presentation, how they present the clothes, how the clothes fit them, and how they make it look appealing. So I've always liked runway stuff like that. With that said, Mercedes is the finest woman at the time that I had seen ever in my life, and she was runner up. So if I got any critique for Tyra, because her telling persons that they too fat or they this and that. And mind you, Tyra done got fat to show y'all that that was work that she put in to be her weight. She naturally, her body was begging to be fat. But it's work that goes into modeling. It ain't no just you get on the runway. You gotta get your ass in the gym every day like an athlete. You gotta work for that body. Shout out to this chick on IG named New Orleans Muscle. I follow her. Hell of a body. Y'all should check her out sometime. Um, with that said though, Tyra put in the work to be the greatest model of all time. Just put it like, it's not even close. You could probably say Naomi Campbell second, but it's Tyra first. So with that said, and then Cindy Crawford third or whatever like that. And with that said though, bro, I don't think the lady should be dissing Tyra Banks, because lady, you shouldn't even won the first season. And looking at you 10 years now, white women don't typically age too well. Only white women I ever want men. I ain't gonna say women as in multiple Maybe there is some. There is some definitely, but that's noticeably the most noticeable white woman that aged very gracefully is Cher. Is I had the biggest crush on Cher coming up, especially when she had that song. Do you believe in love after love? I can feel that was. But Cher always looked like a black woman in a white with a white face. If that make any sense, like her facial features remind me of a black woman. Let's see. Uh, okay. They say KD is back on his burner shit. Man, listen, KD, bro. Dog, you gotta stop it. They say you got a burner account dissing your teammates. KD, dog, listen. When your NBA career is over, bro, let me let you know something. You could be the Zoloft spokesperson. You could be the double coat and Risperdal Percocet spokesperson. You have like some mental incognizance going on, and I think that for you to, if that's true, you know what I'm saying, use the what you call it, what do you call it, habitual burner account user. Bro, I wanted to say this about Katie real quick. They should, if you that petty, the NBA should keep you out the NBA Hall of Fame, the first ballot. Not saying forever, but they should be petty with you, but how petty you been. And in their pettiness, they should call you Kenneth Petty Durant. That's my new name for you. KD, K stand for Kenneth, P for Petty Durant. Kenneth Petty Durant. That's your new name. And I also want to say that nigga look like Skeletor. That nigga look like a 7th grade science project. That nigga look like the movie Thinner. That nigga built like a coat rack. That nigga look like a Jamaican Sudanese. And now DeAndre Ayton got hemmed up in Nassau. Man, goddamn, Nassau, what y'all doing? Mono sick boy, mono sick. Like, I feel like this, man. DeAndre Ayton is the most popular. Nah, Robert Ory would be the most popular, like, but that's only like Bahamians that know Robert Ory is Bahamian and shit like that. Americans just think Robert Ory, Robert Ory. But outside of Robert Ory, fucking DeAndre Ayton got to be like the most popular, relevant, and VJ Ekman gonna be like up there too, whatever now. But point is, DeAndre Ayton is the top 5. He's Mount Rushmore Bahamian. Y'all gotta try to like be. I think what black people never learned, black upper echelon never learned this white trick. What white people do, they keep each other name out of important shit. Like they was talking about, like Shannon Sharp was talking about it. He was talking about how quarterbacks, and they say he was talking about John Elway. John Elway would get drunk and shit, and the police will stop him. That shit never made the news, never made the tabloids. They drive him home. Bitch, you the Super Bowl champion around this, but you the man. We keeping this shit in-house. We doing what we call a professional courtesy. I think that black people have to learn that in different nations and definitely in this nation of professional courtesy. You know what? This is a somebody in our community. If we can try to avoid a stain or tarnish on this person, and this person does so great for our community, let's try to figure out an amicable way that we can handle this situation without being messy about it. So, and shout out to the person who said I'm a hardworking YouTuber. I really appreciate. I should have caught that in real time, but I really do thank you for that though. I try, man. I really do, man. Um, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf needs to sit down. SITDOWN. The only movie I could, well, nah, I ain't gonna say the only movie. Shia LaBeouf played a raw movie before where the next door neighbor had done whacked somebody. He thought he seen some shit, and then the dude was trying to get close to his mom to get to Shia LaBeouf. That was dope as hell. That was a super dope movie. If he would have stayed on that trajectory, he could have been like a Nicolas Cage or something. And then, you know, they had the little Disney movie Holes. I just thought that was a weird and crazy movie, but you know how those Disney, I mean those Nickelodeon kids end up. So I think Shy need to just relax, man. You got people sitting on your chest, slapping you around, and Buddy spared you. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't have no security. Like that showed that your security was like, man, beat them up. We'll come late. Just get a couple licks in on them. You rich for really no reason other than, like I said, you had one good movie. Chill out, bro. You getting beat up and drunk at Mardi Gras, bro? That ain't cool, fam. Not to be that rich and getting beat up. Tommy Lee Jones' daughter died from coke. This is a very sensitive issue. Shout out Tommy Lee Jones. Shout out U.S. Marshals. Shout out that whole little series. That was a dope ass series. How I like the way they spent that. Tommy Lee Jones was a U.S. Marshal in The Fugitive, chasing Harrison Ford, and then they did a spinoff, and instead of call it The Fugitive Part Two, they just made it called U.S. Marshals with Wesley Snipes, and they had the same crew that he used in The Fugitive. So that I always thought that was a dope, like from a theatrical standpoint. That was always super fly. And so shout out Tommy Lee Jones and bless his heart. I like to think that most of these celebrity kids, I think it's a message to the celebrities that you on the road a lot and you got the nanny watching the kids and this and that. You can't pay certain things you can't buy. You can't buy quality time. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand you have put your kid at an advantage and a disadvantage. The advantage is that they ain't never got a want for shit. But that's the same disadvantage because they got access to everything. When you got money, you got access to everything. And without that discipline, Michael Jackson did one of the smartest moves. His adopted kids, because I ain't gonna never call them his kids. His adopted kids, freaking, he put a trust in that they gotta turn 30, 35 or something before they can access the money. That way, you little niggas learn how to live off of $1 million for 3 years or 5 years. You niggas don't get to get hundreds of millions of dollars and ruin your life and kill yourself. They had something like I forgot what person said it, but back in the 90s, a drug addict was able to get disability because they considered that a disability. And so what the drug addicts do when they got their disability check, they went to the dope man and they overdosed because they had this surplus of money. And you know, when you broke, you only could get X amount of money to buy dope, maybe $10, $20. But when you got $500 to spend on dope, you about to kill yourself. So when you look at these millionaires and these celebrity kids who be dying of these drugs, they got all this money, but they ain't got no discipline and they ain't got no parent that ever instilled any kind of real time with them because the parent is always working. I think if you're going to be always working, building your empire, bring your kid with you. If I got to homeschool you and teach you and you can afford it, you can afford to have them on set. So, but anyway, condolences to Tommy Lee Jones. I got a trivial. There's a show called Trivial Pursuit. It's a new show premiere, and in honor of a trivial, I want to give a tribute. The actor played Kuta Kinte, better known as Toby, and he's gonna be on this show. Can anybody in these comments, why I got 5 people in here, give me his real name? That's the trivia question. I'll wait 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. LeVar Burton, who also played on Star Trek, which Star Trek to me was the worst damn show ever, but a lot of people like MASH. At the point is though, LeVar Burton is so instrumental in all anybody raised in the 90s lives. I'm talking about born in the 80s but raised in the 90s, because Reading Rainbow, and I like LeVar Burton was our teacher. The teacher had it easy back in the 90s. They just put on Reading Rainbow and maybe they'll play like Lamb Chops Play Along, Lamb Chops Play Along. Between them two things, man, we learned everything under the sun. The first time I ever seen a magnet detector and shit. Like, I used to want to get a magnet detector and walk the beach and all that. Like, they had it at all. Like, Reading Rainbow was the greatest show of all time. Educational show of all time. So I'm glad to see LeVar be able to, contribute so much to just the American society and all the kids that he raised, and be able to just come back and get an opportunity in the limelight. And that pretty much wraps up this morning segment. The last thing I will speak on before I get out of here is this lady. They say they got a scam going on, y'all. Y'all be careful. Even though it's a lot of people just be stupid. That's why it'd be hard to feel bad for a person get caught up in a scam. So they got this scam for job seekers where they ask you for money. Like common sense tells you, I'm looking for a fucking job to make money. The hell I look like paying you to get money? Like common sense gotta be. And this lady, she on the TV crying. She like, they got her for a couple 100,000. Lady, you was sitting on a couple 100,000? You ain't start a business? On top of that, you talking about you was trying to get a little side money so you can pay some taxes? You had a couple 100,000. How much was your tax bill? 500,000? The fuck you mean? Nigga, don't feel sorry for you. You're an idiot. Somebody's gonna get got. So make sure it ain't you. And if you made, if and you know the crazy part about this is, which made it more believable, that because you like a sensible person to say, how does a person with a couple 100,000 get tricked? Like clearly you got to have some kind of wherewithal sense for you to make a couple 100,000. But she inherited it, and that's goes back to the other point I was alluding to about celebrity kids. You gotta make a motherfucker learn to appreciate the value of how hard this money is earned. Every time I look at anything that I want to purchase, I think about the hours put into the labor. I've always, for the last 15 years, 20 years, I've always looked at anything I get. I think about how long it took me to accumulate that money, and then how fast it's gonna get spent buying what I need to get. I've always thought about it like that. If it had just been handed to me, then I wouldn't value the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I guess I'll make this last point too real quick. So watch out for that scam. And this is the last thing I want to say. I heard a celebrity was talking about not a celebrity, but I heard a blogger was talking about people with no money always saying what they would do if they was rich, and how a rich person should do with their money. I don't think nothing wrong with that, because a motherfucker who doesn't have the money knows how to survive off of nothing. And when I say nothing, obviously they got something, but something is nothing compared to this millionaire. So if I see a nigga lose $100 million, don't tell me or try to minimize what I got to say about it by saying, oh, you ain't never been in that position. No, nigga, I haven't been in that position, but if I was, I still have my $100 million. Silly nigga. Fuck you mean? I done made it this far for what I got, what I had. So don't tell me because you're an idiot that blew 100 million that, oh, I don't know what it's like to have 100 million. I would have blew it like you. No, I wouldn't have. And you know why I know that? Because the people that made $1 billion, they wasn't like you. That's why they made $1 billion. They didn't fucking blow their first 100 million. They made that 100 turn to 2 and 2 turn to 3. They ain't just take that 100 and blow the shit. So all I'm saying is to the people with opinions about people, when they say, oh, like this person was talking about when they say Elon Musk paid too much for Twitter. He did. He was bidding against himself. They got an old saying that say, you don't outbid yourself. That's crazy. So, but guess what? When you're dealing with fiat currency and when you scamming the system already, and this is all free bands, free bills, I would call it free billions, shit, then of course you can overpay because this shit is on autopilot. It ain't like you day for day, dollar for dollar, counting, like your own bookie, your own accountant, making sure that you checking in what's coming in and what's coming out, the surplus of cash. You building your empire million by million. No, that shit coming in billion by billion. And I promise this the last thing I'm going to say. They said that Jeffrey Epstein won the lotto. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you is in the grand scheme of the money system and the money game, and this shit is a sham. So for all you lotto players, I've been telling people the lotto is rigged and scam. But for all you lotto, that's a money laundering tactic. That's how they money launder legally. So I say that to say, when them people getting free billions handed to them, of course they gonna overpay, and of course us mere citizens who trying to work our way up through the ladder to get to a certain point in life, we gonna have an opinion on it because we know how financially sound we are. That's all I'm saying. We financially sound, and we know that we would not be doing no foolish shit. Don't get it twisted. Like if a person had 10 million, you would be almost a fool not to splurge close to 1 million on yourself. But you would be a fool to think that you just finna blow the 10 million and make it back, because that don't come every day. With that said, y'all take care. Love. Shout out to the person that said facts, my friend. I'm out. Good morning. Rise and grind. I'm thinking about making this the time slot. I want to try to get up in this early morning time slot, because the older I get, the earlier I'll be waking up. It's just like a natural alarm clock that say get your ass up. So love, man, that part. Y'all take care.